have a problem with the passport.
What do you think about
Passportbros?
What's your opinion?
What we have a problem with is and on black women as a reason to go over to take advantage of women who are not financially stable. You go over here and find somebody who's going to treat you like a king.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
All right, family. We are live. Welcome to another show. It is your man BMT, and today I have a well-known guest, my man Flight Madness in the building.
Hey y'all, how's it going? Happy Saturday.
It's Sunday over there where you at, isn't it?
Let me check. Hold on. It's about to be Sunday, but right now it's like Saturday, 11:53 p.m. in China.
Okay. And I mean, brother, you have been the talk of a lot of internet conversations lately. You've been going viral. O'Shea, my brother O'Shea Jackson has reviewed a couple of videos of yours. So I thought it would be a good subject to talk about, like, what's the best country for passport bros. You have a lot of experience in Asia. I have a lot of experience in South America and stuff as well. So we're going to get down to the nitty gritty, man. You know, we're going to talk about this because you've gone viral because you've had a few issues in some of these Asian countries, you would say?
Yeah, I have a few issues. I mean, nothing too big, but it's like it's enough to make you think twice and make you kind of reconsider, like, should I go back there or not? You know, because some of the issues that maybe people face over here in Asia, it might be kind of unfamiliar to guys who are like, they mainly spend time in Africa or Latin America.
Okay, so basically you kind of saying that, you know, the issues are different issues in Asia versus some of the issues that we'll have. For example, we all know in Colombia, it gets dangerous, right? Guys get drugged and robbed in certain cases, but that's not the issue out there per se where you at. There's other issues.
Yeah, one of the biggest issues in Asia is that you're probably going to be an outsider if you don't look Asian. Like, a lot of other societies are maybe more accepting of people who are kind of not from there or who look different, because maybe other societies are more diverse. But it seems like over here in Asia, like, the majority of people are Asian. So especially if you got like darker skin or, you know, yeah, you're not an Asian person, you're going to stand out a lot. And yeah, basically every continent has their own problem, guys. Like, every continent, you know, you're going to have some kind of issues you got to deal with. And Asia comes with its own particular set of issues. And I'm sure, BMT, you can elaborate about South America and the other places you've been to, how they also have their particular issues.
Right. It's kind of all based on what you're comfortable with dealing with to a certain degree. I know when I was in Asia, in certain places like Cambodia and Phnom Penh, I did feel really like an outsider, extremely like an outsider. Hold on, let me give me 1 second, Danny. I'm gonna finish that thought. Give me 1 second. You can read the chat. I gotta hook up my battery real quick.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, guys, I'm in China right now. Later on, I don't know if we talked about this. Kanye is in China. Look, Kanye just did a performance a few days ago, and the news got released. He's doing another performance in China. So Kanye is doing 2 performances in China, and it's really big. Like, it's going crazy. We can talk about it later. I got like some kind of pictures from the show. A lot of hot girls that I know, they went out to see Kanye. I was like, dang, you went out to see Kanye, you didn't come see me. But, you know, that's just how the game goes, guys. You know, Kanye's a big star. But yeah, y'all, I've been living over here in Asia for like over 10 years now, and I really enjoy it. I have been looking at other content creators, and I see how they live in the other continents. And it does have me a little bit interested in venturing outside of Asia. But for me personally, Asia seems to be a good mix. But we can talk about that maybe in more detail a little bit later. But yeah, I think every country, you know, you got to find a place that fits you. I think that would probably be how I would summarize this conversation. Like different continents attract different people, and what you're willing to put up with, other people might not be willing to put up with. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind about this discussion about what country is like perfect for Passport Bros.
Okay. And shout out to everybody in the chat. My man Jay Clyde always in the building representing, one of the mods out here. Shout out to brother Truth Be Told. Shout out to you. All right. But yeah, like I was saying before I went off for a second, man. When I was in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, I did feel a little, I'm not gonna say uncomfortable, but it was a feeling of like, damn, it was one of the moments where I was looking for another black person to feel a little bit at ease, if that makes any sense, right? Like I literally saw no black people out there, very, very few. Now, on the flip side of that is being that exotic guy, the women tend to look at you as somewhat of a fetish too, right? Like you have women driving by on motorbikes looking at you, saying chocolate man, looking, you know, screaming at you, flirting with you, because they want to, some of them do definitely want to experience, you know, a black man, right? We have a certain stereotype, like they have a certain stereotype. For example, you know, their stereotype is all Asian people are really good at math and fixing things and stuff like that. That's a stereotype. That's not what I'm saying. That's just a stereotype. And we know that as black men, we have a more sexualized stereotype than probably any other man on the planet. I think we can all agree to that. And that's, you know, being well endowed, being very masculine, being, you know, deep voice, just all these little things that make women from other cultures curious. That being said, other men, you know, these local men, you know, they might recognize that and they might feel a certain way, right? They might feel a certain way. So because they feel a certain way, you might have an experience like you had in Kazakhstan. For people that don't know, can you just give us a quick rundown of your experiences in Kazakhstan?
Yeah, so we were talking about at the beginning how O'Shea has been covering me. O'Shea's been covering me a lot. Like he covered like 3 of my videos and like 3 different, you know, in the past week he covered 2 of my videos. But basically in Kazakhstan, you know, I was on the dance floor and in pretty much both situations, it's like the girls, like the Kazakh girls, they were approaching me, trying to dance with me. And like the Kazakh guy, like some jealous guy who's getting rejected by women, he doesn't like that and he gets in my face and wants to fight me. So it's kind of interesting situation, and that kind of thing is pretty common. I wouldn't say it's common in Asia, but it's common in certain countries. Like it happens in South Korea. South Korean men like to block a lot. I've heard it happen in Mongolia, Kazakhstan, the other Stan countries, like the kind of Muslim countries. I've heard O'Shea said it happened to him in Europe, or he's seen it happen in Europe. Like, you know, African guys get stomped out for getting too comfy with like a local girl. So yeah, like in terms of like some of the things you might need to watch out for in this part of the world, you might not have to deal with that in like South America or Africa. You know, like if you're the kind of guy who you don't want to have to like, you know, watch your back around local men, then some countries might be you might want to say, yeah, man, it's not worth it for me, man. I don't care how beautiful the girls are, man. I don't want to deal with that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, one thing I will say about black men, you know, Afro men and Latino men is like it's secret I call it not necessarily a secret. That sounds weird, but like an understanding, right? Because this is a very, very diverse. These are very diverse countries, and you have a large Afro populations in places like Colombia, Brazil, the Caribbean, DR, and everything. And it's like a mixture. So just imagine that. And I always say this: it's like we have like a silent understanding that, hey, you know, we like your women, you like our women, obviously, because everybody wouldn't be walking around like this, looking like this, if you did not like our women. At least you want sexual access to our women. So they can't really trip out too hard when you walk in with a so-called whiter Latina. when they got them 4-5 Afro Latinas. When I was in the barrio in Buenos Aires, Medellin, all I saw was dark-skinned Afro sisters with, Latinos, basically. I would say, and it's hard when you say we call them mestizos, but let's just say, white or light-skinned Latinos. When they say light-skinned, they think, you're light-skinned, but that's what I see. So I'm sitting here like you can't have it both ways now. You can't be wanting to dip, all in our sister's chocolate, but you don't want us to dip in your, what I'm saying, your lemon pecan type shit. We gotta mix it up, fellas. And I think for the most part, like when I'm with a mestizo or a light Colombian chick, I haven't had any issues. You know what I'm saying? But I've heard that you might have an issue or two in some of them other towns in Colombia, right? So, but for the most part, it's not going to be a big deal. If you're in Sao Paulo or something, if you in Santiago DR or something, it's not going to be an issue. The question is, in this conversation, like what would be the country that edges out the most for Passport Bros? And I guess you got to kind of divide Passport Bros to a certain degree because we kind of like pirates, right? Like we black, white, Asian. But in countries, ethnicity does play a role. It does play a role. So for this topic of this conversation, we can break it down by race. So we'll start off with black men. And we can go in the chat. I want your guys in the chat to participate as well. And I'll ask you your opinion real quick. What country you think is best off the top of your head for black Passport Bros?
Even that's like a complicated question, man, because it's like, okay, there are a lot of black men who would love to date black women if they were like more accessible and like, to them. So like, for example, if Africa was closer, I think that a lot of black men would love to go to Africa and experience like, real feminine beauty from like an African woman. I think a lot of guys would love that. Like when I look in the Passport Bro groups, there are a lot of guys who want to date black women, but it's just like maybe Africa is just like, it's too big of a hassle for most guys. So like they probably prefer, South America or even Asia to a certain extent. For me, safety is a big issue. If I was just going off physical, based off what I've seen, like I do like what the Brazilian women, like what I've seen like from Brazilian women when I look at the pictures guys post. I've heard there are different problems there with the country though in terms of like infrastructure and just general safety. But like in terms of just women, if I had to go off the top of my head, probably I would prefer Brazilian women more. But then again, over here in Asia, we got some thick Asians guys. Like we got, Asian girls are getting pretty thick these days. So it's like, it's not Brazilian thickness, but it's like, for me, it's good enough. So in that aspect, it's like, is women like the main concern? For some guys, like you did like a live stream with a guy, he got scoped like twice by a woman, right? So for that guy, clearly women is like a bigger priority than like safety or his life or something like that. So like maybe for those types of guys, they're willing to thug it out in Colombia and like dodging bullets just to like get some cakes, get some of those Colombian cakes. But for me, overall, if you're asking my personal opinion, I spent time in Thailand this past summer. I was there for like over a month and a half. Thailand is probably all around. It's just like, I think based off what I've seen, it's hard, man. Even that, man, it's hard to say, man. Because like some guys, like they say, oh man, I want like a woman who like, they don't want to spend money, right? It's like different guys have different like desires. I can just say for me that I've been living in China for 10 years. Chinese girls are really hot. I'm probably going to make a switch soon to a different country. Thailand is looking pretty good. And yeah, man, like, but yeah, probably for me, Thailand, I guess. Thailand seems pretty legit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out everybody in the chat. I got CJ, aka says I hear Nairobi, Kenya is a great place for Passport Bros. That's why I'm hearing as well. All right. Shout out to my man Good Time Grego in the building. Said US men like to block too. I don't understand. Like to block too.
Like cock block.
Okay, well, yeah. What up, T Mac? What's good? T Mac said that's a complicated question. Is it? At your wife's house all day? You got to kill me with that name, man. At Passport Bros, home base is going to be the country he can see himself living in as a resident long term, not just for the women, but for the overall way of life in that country. Choose wisely. At your White House all day. That's been, you summed it up. You summed the whole show up just that quickly, bro. But we still going to talk about it. But that's a great answer. Very good answer. It definitely does depend. You can't go to a country just because of the women. All right. But the women do play a large part. All right. T-Matt says, I've been to 40 countries. I can't answer that question. All right. Addison says, Africa is my choice, particularly Kenya. Like I said before,
yeah, see,
things about Kenya.
A lot of guys, they want the African man. Like, a lot of guys, they want black women, y'all. Like, I mean, a lot of guys, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's some guys, like, for example, like, we got Austin in Kenya. He said black women are his top. Like, he doesn't like Asian women that much. And, like, for him, I guess the racism in Brazil, he didn't like having to deal with that. For some people, they're not really bothered by, like, the racism or the preference for white skin in some of these countries. For me personally, I'm not really bothered because I'm able to pull the women I want regardless of that. If I wasn't able to pull the women that I want because of, like, their white skin preference in these countries, then maybe I would go to Africa or something, or I would go to a country where my dollar could give me more power with the women, if you know what I mean. So yeah, like, it's different. Some guys, they really love black women and they want to have, like, and in Africa, like, polygamy, like, I don't know if we can talk about that, but a lot of guys really want that. Like, they want, like, the multiple wives thing. So apparently, whenever I see guys posting about polygamy, they always posting pictures of black women, like African women. So it seems like that's what a lot of guys want. So, different guys have different desires.
That's very true. That's very true. And what O'Shea mentioned in the video, and I'll go ahead and pull some of this part of the video. Shout out to my man O'Shea. Always reporting about the passport, bro. Shout out to him. Okay, let me move this coming off the screen real quick. He mentioned some real good points about guys not having issues in places like Uganda and Africa when it comes to dancing, little simple things like dancing with women in the clubs, whereas versus you guys pretty much got into some heat. And I'm gonna play a little bit of the video now. Let me play a little bit. It's not queued up, but let me go ahead and play a little bit of. And there you go right there again, Daddy. There you go again. All right. So, but I want to get to what your friend was saying real quick. And of course, you can give us a little bit of a breakdown. Just let me know if you want me to stop at any point.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Let me get past this commercial real quick and we'll get started.
O'Shea has funny titles. I see someone making fun of the title.
Video.
Passport Bros, Sims for Asian Chicks permanently regrets it.
I don't regret it, but maybe Francois does. Huh?
Okay, and you can give us a rundown too after this as well.
Experience, but Francois made a very big mistake that could have easily got him killed. You should never make this mistake ever. Okay, let's get into the video and find out what he did.
Me personally, as a traveler, I don't really like to go to nightclubs when I'm traveling abroad unless I'm with a friend, because I never know what can happen. Even when I'm here in Korea, I don't usually go to a nightclub because sometimes there's a very rowdy crowd and some things can happen. So I usually spend a lot of time to myself. However, Danny continued to ask me several days if I could go to the nightclub with him, and I reluctantly agreed one night.
Danny,
okay, hold on, Danny. What's up with that, man? Why you make me go to the club like that?
Yeah, look, y'all, I'm really big on research, right? Like, I don't want to just go to a country myself and the women like me, and then you hear me making videos saying, oh, the women in this country love black men. I didn't want to do that. Like, we got this one guy, why am I forgetting this dude's name? Freaking Daryl in Kazakhstan. And he told me, like, hey, he felt like he was getting play there. He felt like the girls there, they have a thing for black guys. So I went there to test my theory, and yeah, I was getting positive responses. Now, before I get on the internet talking about, hey, man, Kazakh girls love black men, I wanted to test one more time, so I had to bring Francois out there. You know, Francois, he's not very tall. He's like 5'9", 5'10", or about 5'9", and you know, kind of bald. He's in pretty good shape, but I wanted to see like how women react to him. You know, I wanted to see, and like, yeah, he got really positive responses from women. So like, it seems pretty clear. Like we hitting 3 for 3 guys, like 3 different black guys have gone to Kazakhstan, and we've all had pretty great experiences with the women there. So it seems like, you know, if you're a black man, you know, if you want like to be like a prize, you want women to treat you like you're a prize, and like all the women on the dance floor trying to get with you and dance with you, you know, Kazakhstan might be your country, guys. You know, I had some great times there. And yeah, I see someone comment 3 for 3 for the win, man. Like, you know, we hitting threes, man. We hitting threes, man.
Okay.
Must be Flight Madness, right? That's his real name.
Because he said he would pay for my drink. And these are non-alcoholic drinks because I don't drink alcohol. So we just drink water all night. When we arrived at the club, it was a pretty cool entrance. There was nothing significant about how we entered the club. We paid and we walked right in the door. And as soon as we get in the door, we could see the scene. It was vibing. There were people, you know, Kazakh men, Kazakh women dancing on the dance floor. It looked like a normal club.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing Danny and I do after checking out the scene was go to the bar and get something to drink. I got some water. Danny got some water. Then we went back to the dance floor. After a period of time, I'm dancing on the floor by myself. I don't know where Danny is. Maybe Danny is behind me, but I remember him walking and talking with some people. So maybe he was off doing his thing. But I was dancing by myself, having a great time, not bothering anyone. So while I'm dancing, a Kazakh guy, he touches me on the shoulder and he says, boyfriend. And I'm looking around like, boyfriend? What are you talking about, boyfriend? I don't have a boyfriend.
Yeah. You know, there's no clap state going around here, Mr. Kazakh, man. Oh man, Francois don't play that. All right. No, you know what I'm saying? He's not Rolando Martin. Okay. I'm just messing with that.
So I continue to dance. And then the Kazakh guy, he taps me on the shoulder again and he says, boyfriend. And I'm like, what are you talking about, boyfriend? And then eventually Danny walks over and he explains to me that, he is telling you that he's her boyfriend. So don't try to dance with that girl.
Okay. Guys, let me tell you something, okay? In your quest to get international cheeks, if you see that somebody is bold enough to do something like this.
Go ahead, Danny. You want to speak on that point real quick while let's catch up?
Yeah, so here's what happened. That guy who tapped Francois on the shoulder, I had gotten near his group of girls, and like I guess he had gotten kind of nervous that he thought I was gonna like steal his women, and then he turned around and he touched. I guess he got confused and he thought Francois was also trying to like get with his girls. Cause for me, like I was just like observing the scene. I just kind of looked over. I didn't like approach it. I don't remember approaching any women that night in the club. My job there, like that night, I just wanted to make sure Francois had a good time, and I wanted to observe the situation. I wanted to see like what kind of reactions he got from women. I didn't even try to I wasn't trying to hook up with women, guys. Like basically all the women in that club that night, they approached us. So yeah, but basically, yeah, that guy who turned around and told Francois, boyfriend, he was trying to, you know, keep us away from the group of girls that he was creeping on. But yeah.
Okay. We hit that very quick.
They got backup. All right. They have plenty of people there. Most people are not going to just come to, you know, up to you by themselves. So if somebody were to come up to you like this and say, hey, don't dance with that girl, they most likely are either very drunk or want to bait you into a response where they can then call all their homeboys and then try to attack you. So if I was to be there, and I've seen this happen before in Poland, I would just remove myself from that part or get away from that lady he's talking about, because it's not worth me, you know, getting into it with this lady that I don't know. And she's not even interested in me. Okay. That's number one. Always do that. If you see this happen to you, you're in somebody else's country. Don't try to be like, yo, man, back the F off or whatever. Because you by yourself, it's where they live. You don't know if the bouncers are on their side or whatever, right? So don't, just remove yourself from the situation.
And I'm looking around like, what girl? I'm dancing by myself. So I turn around rather, and I look and I see there's a girl dancing on the floor, and the guy who was talking to me, who tapped me on the shoulder, was like an orbiter. Like, he wasn't dancing on her, he was trying to dance near her. So obviously, from me looking at the situation, I could see that he's not her boyfriend. He's just wanting to dance with her, and he doesn't want me to dance with her because it might reduce his chances of getting with her.
Happens all the time, especially in Eastern Europe, Poland. I see it all the time. Whatever. If you want to dance with her, bro, go dance with her. I don't want any problems. Obviously, you're a loser. I don't really care about her like that. It's all good. But that's not what he does. He's about to do something really silly that you should never do.
Eventually, a group of Kazakh girls pulls Danny and I over to dance with them. So we're all dancing in a circle, having a good time.
Strike number one. Don't do that.
All right, you want to speak on that, brother? You thought you made a fatal mistake there?
Bro, these girls were aggressive, man. These girls would not leave us alone. Like, for me, I kind of knew the situation. Like, so when I had disappeared, like, as soon as I got into the dance floor, I already knew like some BS was already popping off, right? Like, they didn't show this part of the video, but basically, I kind of knew as soon as we got to the dance floor, one guy had already tried to like jump at me and fight me. Like, as soon as we got into the dance floor and like he saw that the girls were looking at us, this guy was getting rejected by girls. So as soon as he saw us getting attention, he lunged at me like an animal, and his friend kind of held him back. And then another guy approached me with his phone translator, trying to tell you like, hey man, these are our Kazakh women, man. They ours, like, So like I already knew some BS was happening that night. So basically for me, I was just on alert. I was kind of watching Francois's back. He had a couple girls who were interested in him. So I was trying to just help him out a little bit and keep the other guys off his back. And I was just trying to keep a fight from happening because like those girls were like check like, so I see like Ozzy just wrote a comment like the girls were checking heavy. Like, yeah, the girls were like, they were approaching us like really heavy.
Hold on, Dan. I hear what you're saying, brother. They choosing heavy, but the environment. I mean, did you feel something about the environment? It's almost like you in a street, just a street terminology, just so maybe the eyes can understand it. Like you blooding and cripping, bro. Like you in an all crip environment with your red bandanas, and of course the women, looking at you, where they want to make their guys jealous, whatever the reason. They actually genuinely want to talk to you and everything, but you guys can kind of be like, okay, wait a minute, this ain't good. Let's remove ourselves from this situation.
I mean, look, it was a couple guys. It was a weird situation because like there was some guy in the group who was trying to be really, really friendly with us. He was kind of trying to orbit us. Like he's trying to like really, really hard to be friends. That's the guy who pulled the guy away who was trying to jump at me. So like the guy who held him back, he was trying to be like really friendly with us and like, trying to latch on us. I think he understood that the girls really liked us. So I think he was trying to try to be friends with us so he could like maybe get access to the girls or something. But he was a pretty cool guy. But basically, yeah, it wasn't like every guy there was a jerk. It was like two kind of outliers and the rest were kind of neutral, or they kind of like were playing their distance. Like they weren't on the dance floor actively trying to approach women. The guys who tried.
Hold on, Daddy. But do you think that even though the guys are so-called chilling, it could have been a situation like Bakari? I think it's Henderson. Please forgive me, guys. I'll get his name right. I'll look it up. But the brother that lost his life out there in Greece, it was like he was only into it with one guy, right? One guy slapped him or something like that, and he hit him back. But 12, 13 guys basically jumped him, killed him, and they're all out of prison now. Like it was like it never happened.
It could always turn ugly, guys. Like, I kind of was getting a little bit tired. Like when I was going out to the club, I was like, do I really feel like going out to the nightclub tonight? I know it might be some BS, like some guy might try to get in the way. Like I was kind of feeling exhausted. Like I was like, oh man, do I really feel like going out to the club tonight? But I was like, man, I kind of want to figure this out. I want to know what's going on here. I want to know like are they really checking for black guys? Like, is that really like what they're on over here? Like, because that kind of changes things. Like, a lot of us, we have this perception like, oh, Asian girls only like white guys, or they prefer white guys. But here I have clear evidence right in front of my face that, you know, in this country, for whatever reason, they're really interested in black guys. And it seems like they're interested in us more than white guys. Now, I don't know what the reason for that is. I still need to do more research. But the consensus seems pretty clear that we are very desired in Kazakhstan and possibly in the other Stan countries.
Okay, Danny. I'm just playing devil advocate here, brother. But do you feel like you guys made a wrong move there, as O'Shea was pointing out? O'Shea basically was saying, hey, don't ever do this. Looking back on it, do you think you guys should have just said, hey, I see a group of girls, I see all these Kazakh guys surrounding us, I'm just going to remove myself from this situation to not cause any more drama?
It didn't seem like it was going to escalate out of control. Like, it didn't seem like that. It seemed like, for the most part, it was just like kind of some beta males who were, you know, really desperate and like trying to like keep the competition away. And like, but the girls were really in demand. Like, the girls, you know, they were demanding the black guys that night. It's really pretty clear to me. And the other guy, like the guys who were getting rejected, they're really salty about that, y'all. Like, they were trying hard. Like, those guys were trying hard. Like, they weren't trying, but
Okay, it just seems like you taking kind of light of it, but Francois from the video, it's Francois, right? That's not.
Yeah, Francois.
Okay, it seems like he's taking it a little bit more to heart. Like, he's taking it a little bit more serious than you.
Yeah, because he's not a nightclub person. Like, I had to bait Francois to come to the club with me. I was like, hey man, I'll pay for your tickets and I'll buy your drinks or whatever. I had to like do that to get him to come to the club, because he's really not a nightclub person. Like, for him, if he stays up past 1 o'clock or something, he has to take some kind of sleeping pill to help him get to sleep. Like, he's really not a nightclub person. He's like a daytime person. Like, he takes girls on dates to like climb mountains and stuff like that. Like, that's the kind of guy he is. Like, he was doing that during the whole week in Kazakhstan. And like, you know, that's definitely not what I'm on. You know, for me, I'm a nightclub guy. I pull women from the nightclub. That's how I operate. And yeah, but he's not like that. So for him, he was like, dang, I can't, he was getting girls without needing to go to the club. Like, Francois was getting girls without needing to go to the nightclub. So for him, it's like, why am I putting myself in this situation around these jerks?
You know, it's funny. I'm gonna get back to the subject at hand, but I remember a guy that I know out there in Colombia. He had this thing where he was taking girls like horseback riding, and you think that's pretty romantic, take a chick on a date horseback riding. But I remember talking to one of the chicks, and she was just like, I was wondering why the fuck he taking me horseback riding? Like, that's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, well, she thought it was romantic, but she's like, no, we just go out and have some drinks. Like, it's not that serious. I don't want to go horseback riding and smell shit all day on our first date. You know, so that's the thing about little sir. You gotta understand that, you know, every woman don't like shit like that, especially horses, because they dookie everywhere. It smells terrible, right? Not the best place for a first date. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Because I'll be honest with you, Daddy, I would be upset too, my brother. I would be a little upset. I'd be like, man, why the hell did I come out here messing with Daddy? Daddy got me, you know, getting threatened at the club. I got to fight 20 Kazakh guys. You know, these girls is going crazy, you know. Like, and it's the thing. You don't know. I remember dating a Kazakh girl in Thailand. And she told me a story about her being chased by the police. And she was hopping from rooftop to rooftop to get away from them. And I'm sitting here like, what type of Kazakh place is it? Like, do you even guys know if you guys in a bad, rough neighborhood or at all? Like, do you know anything about the environment that you in? Maybe it was a tough neighborhood.
I mean, that club, it was. I did the research on that club. That club is like a foreigner club. Like, when you look at the pictures, like, it's like, okay, foreigners go there. So that's why I was kind of shocked that guys there that night were kind of playing that game of like, these are our women, you know. That club is like a foreigner style club. It's like they're playing freaking Flow Rida and like all kind of other like kind of American pop music. So like when I experienced like those types of guys at the club, it was kind of shocking to me. So yeah, like it's pretty interesting, man. But man, like y'all, Kazakh women are beautiful, y'all. So like for me, I had enough success in Kazakhstan where I'm willing to put up with like, the beta males. Like I had some pretty nice experiences in Kazakhstan with the ladies. So I'm willing to put up with the drama at the nightclub because like I don't, there are strategies around this. Like there are strategies, and we did mostly avoid the fights. We did mostly avoid the fights.
Brother, you talking about like this strategy like this is like a, you got a business plan or something like.
I mean, it's worth it, y'all, man. And, it was good, y'all. Like, I can't lie, man. The Cats women, man, they got me wanting to go back, man. I'm definitely going back soon.
Okay.
Can speak Russian.
Those women in the video are okay. Those women are okay, but I had some better women. Like those women are just like kind of normal. Like okay, like if you're walking around, just talk to them. But like I met some beauties, y'all. Like I met some beautiful ladies, y'all.
Okay, well they got to be beautiful if you're willing to risk it like this, man, brother. All right, shout out my man Tiberius to the 5 super chat. Says those chicks could have been Kazi 304s though, not a real meter of the average ladies. Francois' method is the best method. Shout out my man Tiberius. I love that.
Hold on. So Francois, he did something to where like his video went viral in Kazakhstan, and he had a bunch of girls messaging him on Instagram. So Francois was meeting girls off of Instagram during the entire time he was there in Kazakhstan. That was his main way of meeting girls. For me, I met girls from the club. I swiped on Tinder a bit, but I didn't really like my results on Tinder, and I did way better in person. It's like, I'm not really with the online dating. I'm not a big fan of that. But Francois was meeting girls off of Instagram. Now, in terms of like taking girls on dates, if you want to climb mountains with girls, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. That's not what I do. Like I just took girls to dinner, and that's pretty much it was good enough. And yeah.
Okay. Let's see what O'Shea has to say here.
Okay, these are clout chasing females. You're black, you're exotic. It's only to piss the guys off there. Of course, some of them might want you to want to enroll with you at Clap State University, but it's not worth it. They're just using you. Oh, you're the black guys here. Let's just get some attention on ourselves. They can all go and say, oh, let's go grab the black guys. You know what I'm saying? And let's have some fun. And so you're like, oh yeah, I'm the black guy. So man, they really must find me attractive, and they could not. But it's still silly because it puts your health at a real risk, and you're not from there. And I've seen a lot of dudes get their jaw broken and worse by
What, did the video
into
freeze?
this kind of thing. So,
No, it's still playing on my end.
Oh, I think it's frozen on my end. Hold on.
typically, these sorts of things, in my honest opinions,
Okay,
are
it's back.
setups that you should never fall into.
And then these two other Kazakh guys, they just join in the circle, and they keep like getting in my face, and they're saying some things in Kazakh that I don't understand. And I'm like, why are you in my face? I'm just dancing, and I keep dancing with the Kazakh girls. We're all in a circle, and then we start, breaking off and dancing individually, and I'm just dancing and I'm having a good time. And the Kazakh guys are still there. And I'm looking around and I'm seeing that the Kazakh girls in our group, they don't really want these guys around them dancing because they keep turning their bodies and, ignoring them. So you can see the body language is showing that the Kazakh girls don't want the guys around. So then one Kazakh girl grabs me and she starts dancing really close to me. And we're just dancing. We're not like doing anything inappropriate. We're just dancing really closely. And then she says, it's very hot. Let's go outside. So I'm like, okay, let's go outside. So we went outside. We got some fresh air and we're dancing outside. And then lo and behold, one of the Kazakh guys in our group walks out, and he's not the most attractive guy. And he's not the most well put together guy.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he just threw anything on and went to the club, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes out and he's like looking at us dancing.
How about getting?
God damn it. All right, we'll talk through this little video real quick. But this is she did about 3 videos about this, right?
I put out 2 Kazakhstan videos so far.
Uh-huh. No, I said
Okay,
O'Shea did about three videos.
O'Shea did 2 videos on my Kazakhstan thing, and he did another video on me for a different topic about black men dating overweight women. But for this one in particular, right here, I got the video. I pulled out my camera real quick to get a video of the guy who like lunged at me and who was like acting really aggressive, and he was on Francois's tail all night because Francois was dancing with that girl. That girl was really all over Francois. She really liked him. And that Kazakh guy, he's really thirsty and really upset. Like, he's like a hungry animal. Like, he's like, he doesn't like it. And no women want to talk with him. No women want to dance with him. So he's just like hounding Francois. He's like mad dogging him the whole night.
Okay.
Him, like, what's the problem? And then
What's the problem? brother. Technically, it should not be a problem, but for somebody like this, it is a problem. You're a foreigner, you're in their land, like, hey, you want to get her number? Like, look, I'm gonna holler at you later and all that. Boom, you do that. It's like I said, it's different when you live in Africa, man. Africa, they'll be twerking on you and everything. It's all good.
Same here, bro. Same here.
Nobody's really tripping. But out here, you know what I'm saying? Where, a dude like that might not have that many opportunities. And you're looking at him like, what's the problem? Well, the way he sees it is, here you are, a foreigner getting our girls. He's not going to look at the fact that he looks dusty or he's out of shape or he's not on his stuff. That's why he can't get girls. That's how you would look at it or I would look at it, but it's not how he looks at it. So he's going to look at it as you're the reason if you were not here, I would be clapping cheeks tonight. Booty clapping sounds. So that's the issue that he's going to be dealing with. That's his mentality. He's already crazy. He's already thirsty. He's already creepy and dangerous. So he don't have much to lose at this point, right? Typically.
and while I'm dancing with the girl,
Hold on. Good point he made right there, guys. So look, for me, I've got a lot to lose. I really enjoy my life. Things are going really well for me. I don't really have much to complain about. For those kind of local guys who their life sucks pretty badly and like they can't get any women and et cetera, they don't really have anything to lose, right? Like for them, like, getting punched in the mouth or getting punched in the face, for them, they don't really care that much because like they already can't get women, right? Like for me, if I get punched in the mouth and lose my teeth, I'm gonna be upset. But for those guys, it's like they're already losing in life. So getting their teeth knocked out, it might not even make a big difference for them. So like, don't fight. First of all, don't fight, but especially don't fight with guys who don't have anything to lose. Because those guys will like, they don't care. Like they have nothing to lose. So like for me, it would have been smart. I was trying to get away from that guy. Like I did like distance myself from him, but he kept following us around and he kept hounding Francois. Because for me, I was just watching Francois's back, man. I was hounding I was trying to watch Francois's back and make sure none of the guys like got in his way too much. But Francois was with a girl, and because he was with a girl that night.
Brother, I think you're missing the whole point here, bro. That O'Shea's making. I think you missed the whole point. And I understand, excuse me, what he's saying. It's like, bro, maybe y'all shouldn't even be out there like that. Like, you and like, I know you guys are looking at it like, well, the hell with this, but I'm looking at it from a different point of view where those guys aren't actually wrong, and I'm gonna tell you why. Right? I seen a Filipino soldier that was killed. I think it was like a couple of years ago. Right? They were fighting this other country's military. They were fighting, and they regard this Filipino soldier who sacrificed himself. And it was 12 other guys in this unit. They all died, right? What do you think those guys are fighting for? They're fighting for their country. They died for their country. What's in their country? What's a valuable thing in their country besides the land? It's the women. Right? So these guys are looking like, well, hell, motherfucker, I'm in the military. I'm fought for this country. I'm protecting this country. These are our women. If you want to be here, that's cool. Go look at some mountains or some shit. But in this environment right here, nah, these are women. These for us. These women ain't for y'all. Y'all get the hell on because we protect this country. We built this country. Y'all came over here. Y'all ain't built nothing. Y'all did all y'all do is trick off a little money, spend a little money in some restaurants, and take y'all ass home. We've been dying and everything to protect the country that we do have. We right beside damn near Russia, whatever country we got to fight, whatever civil wars we got going on. Y'all don't deserve this. This is our leisure time. This is our playpen. This ain't y'all playpen. So that's how I'm looking at it from their standpoint, and I understand that. And I think the situation, Danny, in all honesty, brother, I think it was more serious than what you letting it off to be. I think you guys could have really got hurt messing around with them guys, women in there, personally. And I think O'Shea is kind of trying to tell y'all, hey man, y'all need to exit stage left out of that whole environment because those guys will kill you and be out of prison in 3 to 4 years.
Yeah. I mean, look, for me, I'm not checking in with no broke local guy. Like, for him, like the women don't want to talk to him. The women are all over me. I'm not gonna check in with him and be like, hey man, are you okay with me with the girls? Like that guy doesn't have any power. He probably not getting any money. His life probably sucks. He doesn't have any sway in the country. Maybe he has sway like in a situation with me, because he's a local guy and I'm a foreigner. But like in terms of like asking his permission, like, nah, I'm not doing that. But yeah, I understand, guys. I understand like when you're going to other people's countries, they have like more nationalistic. I think us black men are very special, or we're very different in that we're not super overprotective of our women. Like we're like the main group of guys who are like, we're kind of fine.
And you see what that's led to though. Because they getting on me in the chat about this because they're not agreeing with me, but I'm like, you see what our liberalness has led to, that we got to go to other countries to get women because our women is all lost in the sauce because we don't protect them from outsiders, right? Outside cultures and everything, liberation and all this feminism, all this bullshit that we come and bring to these other cultures. JK80 says you can't compare a soldier to a thirsty dude in a club. BMT is off. Okay. At your wife's house all day says, yo, crypto, I would agree. I was one starting the problem, but if I come in the club and your girl on me, then get at her, not the guy. Once again, you're thinking about American standards and American culture. Yes, that's how we get down. Excuse me. But that's not how other cultures look at it. All right. JK says, I don't agree. We don't own these girls. My man, Wonderful Travels in the building, always showing support with a $10 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. Says, BMT, you my guy, but I got to roll with Flight Madness on this one. And O'Shea is a quarter horse in a mile race. Okay, I don't know. I think you mean, does that mean fair weather or a fish rider? I'm not sure the O'Shea is a quarter horse in a mile race, but I do appreciate the one for $10 super chat.
I think he's saying that O'Shea isn't qualified to talk about this topic, or O'Shea doesn't have enough experience or something like that.
T-Matt says, I was in 2 branches of the U.S. military, including the USA. I fought for family but country, but the women, I fought for family and country, but the women, they could have. But you got to ask yourself, why? Why are the women the way they are? I was, it was like a YouTube little short, right, on Stoicism, and it was a guy in like Bible times or whatnot, and he was praying to God. He said, God, why did you make women so crazy? Basically, it wasn't exact words, but he was asking God, hey man, why? Like, why did you make women like this? And in the video, God responded and said, that's like me asking, why is a child playful? Meaning like it is what it is. Like, shut up. It is. That's what they are. This is what it is. Why you asking me why is a lion biting my ass right now? Why is a lion biting me right now? Because what? It's a lion. You see what I'm saying? So in certain environments, it's not what you think it should be. Yeah, you should be able to go to the club and talk to any woman you want to, right? The women don't want him, but it is what it is. That's those men's environment. That's their world. You're stepping into their world, stepping into their climate, their country, their house, their backyard. You're a foreigner. You're not from
there. Yeah.
I mean, they on your side in the chat. Maybe I'm playing devil's advocate too much here, but they on your side of the chat.
I mean, look, regardless of what's right or wrong, guys, like for me, I realize that what's right and what's wrong, it changes on the country, right? Like some people, like, yeah, us Westerners, we think this way, but people in other countries don't. And at the end of the day, I don't think right or wrong has anything to do with it. It's like it's kind of like what choice are you gonna make? So for like, yeah, I realized that some stuff could have popped off that night. And did I think I was like in a lion's den? Like I didn't feel like it was that aggressive a situation, but I realized like, okay, on the extreme end, could something really dangerous have popped off? Yeah. Do I think those guys would have killed me? No, I don't think the guys in there were really on that, like, let's murder these guys. It might have been like a gang up on us and beat us up, but I don't think there would have been like any murder happening. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's up to you. Like, we talked about earlier, some of these countries, like I see some people in the chat, they're like, nah, man, like I'm too old for all this, man. I can't be out here like with guys in my face in the club, like over some women. And some guys like me, they're like, man, I can deal with it. It's just like I can brush it off and I'll just make content about it later. So it's like, I might lose the battle, but I win the war. And yeah, for me, that's the mindset I got. But some guys don't want to deal with that. So, Kazakhstan, yeah, they're checking pretty hard for black guys, but you might not want to deal with the other stuff about it.
BMT, my man, wonderful travels. That's facts, BMT, but I think it's two different scenarios. We got Esco 215 in the building says, stop that, BMT. Excuse me. You think that couldn't happen in America or anywhere else for that matter? The dudes that approach Flight Madness could have existed anywhere. That's a good point. We got Zensa in the building says, true, BMT. It all goes back to slavery. At your wife's house all day says, I see your point, BMT, but Danny was just standing his ground. He was that right. He has that right. He also has the right to be in that country enjoying both day and night life as he pleases. So they pretty much on your side, Danny. You got to, I mean, they own you, man. They on your side, brother. Me personally, I'm more on O'Shea's side. I feel like if I get any bad looks, I'm like, hey, I'm out, fellas. Y'all can stay here if y'all want, but I'm gonna head on out. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get a number. I'm gonna try to get a number real quick. Hey, what's your Instagram real fast? And I'm gonna be out. That's me. Reason behind it because me personally is because you gotta know who you are as a person too. Like if you're not one of them guys who like to cower down, like it might take everything in my power. As I'm older now, it's still not easy, but it's easier, for me to walk away. Now, if I'm in my 20s or something like that, I'll be right with you, bro. I'll be like, man, damn it, I can beat up 10. How many you got? How many guys you can beat up? You got 5? Okay, I got these 5. But now it's like I'm just like, bro, listen, I ain't trying to sweat like this, man. I don't want no smoke. I ain't trying to knock nobody out right now. I'm just gonna remove myself from this situation. They can have these girls. I got a passport, bro. I'll be in Thailand tomorrow anyway. I only want one thing from these girls. I'm not gonna live here. I'm not gonna have no relationship with them. So why risk it? Somebody said the DR men could say that to you, BMT. Man, these Dominican bros are players like a mud, bro. They ain't tripping. They ain't tripping, bro. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if I'm in like maybe some Kamado somewhere, and I might approach the wrong dude's woman or something. But no, they ain't really sweating that shit like that. All right, shout out to my man. Hold on, let me put you on mute real quick, Danny. Shout out to my man W Secrets to Success Vlog with a 5 super chat. Appreciate that, man. It says, Danny, I think you are missing the point of what BMT is saying. It's not about money, game, etc. It's about personal safety. Guys, make safety number one. All right, hold on. You want to respond to that, my brother? You want to respond to that? As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you the floor, man. I'm going to give you the floor, man. Hold on. Go ahead.
All right, guys. It's like we said earlier. So, for example, China is pretty safe. Thailand is pretty safe. Japan's pretty safe. South Korea, like the Korean guys, they like to block if they see you talking to a girl out on the streets. Like Korean guys like to block. But in general, they're not going to try to fight you. Central Asia, and that seems to include Mongolia, seems those guys are about that action. They like to fight. They got that dog in them. They got that blood in their eyes. They want to like fight, especially over women. It's up to you. Like, for example, if safety is your biggest concern, just stay in Thailand or like Southeast Asia, like stay over there. For me, I kind of just want to explore. Like, I feel like Central Asia is kind of like a hidden gem. And like for me, I really like the Russian language. So for me, I'm willing to risk it and go over there. But I know a lot of guys that's like too much for y'all. It's like, man, a lot of y'all, let's keep it real, y'all. A lot of y'all are not going to go past Thailand. It's like, as soon as the plane gets near Thailand, y'all are going to say, okay, pull over.
Hold on, Daddy. Let me stop you there. A lot of guys aren't going to go past Cartagena.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I see a lot of guys in the chat. Y'all are agreeing with me about Kazakhstan. Like, are y'all gonna catch a flight? Like, are y'all gonna put your money where your mouth is? Like, we all gonna hang out in Kazakhstan and hit up the clubs? Like, are y'all gonna do that, or what are y'all doing? Like, they're gonna tell me to go out there and get jumped, and y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all just gonna like say, hey, yeah, Danny, do you, man? BMD, I sent you a link because Andrew Tate. Yeah. Andrew Tate had the same experience, y'all. He was in a country, Moldova. And in Moldova, like him and his brother, look, man, Andrew Tate is like 6'2". His brother's like 6'4". They're both professional fighters, and they got pressed by like 10 or 15 local Moldova guys. So if that happens to them, for me, I'm like 6'1", but I'm not a professional fighter, and I'm just kind of by myself, so I can't really, I see some guys talking about, hey, man, like we can get down, we can fight, but really, y'all, if professional fighters are like backing away from fights with those like multiple guys, y'all, who are not professional fighters, who are not 6'4" professional fighters, you probably should not be trying to fight 5 guys at the same time.
Okay. Let me shout out Ghostman King here. A knife to a major artery is curtains. You really trying to risk it all for some ran through cooch? All right. Shout out to Ghostman King. Chris Ross says no champagne in the champagne room. Shout out to my man Derwin the Destroyer. Wizza. That's a dope ass name, actually. Wizza, if that's how it's pronounced. Wizza. It's a very American privileged mindset way of thinking about it. Do we have right? Yes, that doesn't absolutely absolve us from getting our shit pushed in when it's easily avoidable. Crypto Chick says exactly no woman is worth it, especially not one you met in the damn club. That's another thing, Danny, I'm going to tell you about them club women, bro, that you love so much. All right, you're going to get in trouble messing with them club women, man. You want to meet your woman in the library, brother, not no damn club. But shout out to my man Tiberius with the $5 super chat. He says, no offense, but standing your ground in a foreign country where you could have to fight an even less fair judicial system than the U.S. is juvenile work. Let me read that one more time. No offense, but standing your ground in a foreign country where you could have to fight an even less fair judicial system than the U.S. is juvenile work. Shout out to my man Tiberius with the $5 super chat. Yeah, you know what, man? It's super, super sad that what happened to Bakari Henderson and all those gentlemen are out. There's nothing that we can do about it, right? They would still be in prison if they were in America. But then again, I mean, I don't even think it was a black thing necessarily. It could be, but I think it's just, those white guys, that's where they're from, or, people know people and they let all of them out. But, it was pretty sad, man. But let me finish what O'Shea had to say real quick, and we're going to go to the Andrew Tate video. All right. So let's see what my man O'Shea, I think he might have been done, but let me just see where he's at.
He just jumps right in between us and he starts dancing with her.
At this part.
And starts dancing with me. And then the guy tries to follow her. And then
hey, BMT, pull it up. We can't see the video.
Okay, hold on. You can hear it, you can't see it?
Yeah, we can hear it, but can't see it.
Hold on. It should be up there. Hold on. Let me try that. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see what my man O'Shea got to say to finish up the video. God damn these! I ain't never had these. Sorry, family. Sorry about that. All right.
You basically put yourself in a situation where you could have really got messed up. You shield this crazy dude from her, which is not really your job. I get it that she doesn't want to dance with him, but use the black guys to be like, whatever. That guy could go back and say, oh, the dude hit me. The dude slapped me. The dude spit on me. And then all his homies will come and mop you. And then it's your word against theirs in their own country. It's just not a smart thing to do. I would have told her like, yo, man, this is not my girl. but she don't want to dance with you or something like that. But it's not my girlfriend. It's not my.
It's a language barrier too, right, Danny?
Yeah, like the guys there, they speak Russian and like a little bit of English. The girls were pretty decent at English, but yeah, basically, if I had to explain things to the police or some random guy, it probably wouldn't have been too good. Probably would need the phone translator to handle that.
Okay.
My problem. That's her problem. Especially if, you know, like I can see if you came with her or whatever, you just met her there, you know, and maybe you did that trying to shield her, basically like, oh, well, I'm trying to protect her because the dude is a creep. But yo, man, like that's not your girl, that's not your women. And black dudes got to be, you know,
yeah, these just women in the club, fellas.
Understand that, like you're visiting somebody else's country or their land. You know what I mean? Like you can't put yourself in a situation where if you get hurt in Kazakhstan or something happened to you, you're not gonna get no support, bro. No one's gonna come to your defense there. You gotta understand that.
And later, after he finishes, she tells me that, he says that I'm a Kazakh guy, you're a Kazakh girl. Why are you dancing with this foreigner?
Right.
He's not supposed to be dancing with Kazakh girls. Kazakh women are only for us.
Right.
And
come on now, Danny. What's going on, Flight Madness?
I mean, I showed the video, y'all. I showed that guy, like he's hounding Francois, man. That guy's super thirsty, man. Like he's hungry for anything. Like, first of all, like I don't know why he was focusing so much. It's like, okay, you see Francois with the girl, man. How about you go try to get a different girl? But instead of trying to get different girls, he crashed out that night. All the girls rejected him, and so he spent the rest of the night trying to cock block Francois. It's like, what kind of loser behavior is that, man? It's like, come on.
Why are y'all focused on that one individual when what he's saying is these are the social laws of this country? He's not. You focus on how much of the loser a guy is. Okay, he's a loser, but he's saying, you know, this is the rules. Like, why are you dancing with these foreigners? We don't tolerate this type of shit.
I mean, he don't make the rules, man. He don't like, hey, I'm breaking the rules, man. I broke the rules a couple times in Kazakhstan, and it worked out pretty well for me, if y'all know what I mean. So,
but you see how he right though to a certain degree, because in essence, even though the women are willing to, of course, they're willing to, you know, of course, we're not even gonna go that route, but you kind of see it from his point of view as well, though. Like I understand that we Americans, we don't care, but it's a different culture where they do care what decisions that they women make, because you are technically speaking damaging the merchandise, right? You damaging the merchandise. Here we come with our big, you know, our well-endowed brothers going in there, tearing it up and leaving. And she's going to be mentally affected by that. She's not going to be the same because she's going to want another brother, or, you know, she's going to look at that guy now like, you know, like I was just with this 6'2" guy. Like I was with this 6'2" guy now. So you ultimately changed her probably dating habits to a certain degree. So yeah, that's why they don't want you messing with them. They don't want you guys in there stretching the girls out.
I mean, the girls definitely wanted to be stressed out that night, guys. It definitely seemed like, you know, they looking to be opened up that night. They were pretty eager for that.
Okay. So Denny's young and full of vinegar.
I think he means vigor, vigor.
You think so? I think vinegar. I think it's vinegar, man. I think it's vinegar. Sorry, well, 2,000 chases. I would definitely travel almost anywhere. I would check out the country with Danny, but I am not the club dude. I am early retired and like adventure, but not fighting. Last confrontation was in Germany. Okay. You know what's funny, man? I was in Cambodia, and I mean another country. I wasn't in Cambodia. I was in another country. But I'm the only one in the club. I'm out there by myself. My homeboy at the time, I don't know why, man, but when we flew in, he literally flew there for one day and left. And I'm like, bro, why did you, like, what the hell? Like, you know, he got really wasted and he left. So I was out there by myself. So just imagine flying to another country. And granted, we didn't know we were both flying into Cambodia at the same time. But I was just like, all right, we already know each other, man. We can hang out, kick it. and he left the next day. So make a long story short, I was out there by myself, and I'm in the club with 3 women, and another woman was trying to holler, of course. It was another black guy, African in the club, but I tried to do the "hey, what's up, bro" thing, but he faded on me. He looked at me like I was crazy. He was just like, "Yeah, oh, you American? Okay, well, whatever." And I had 4 girls with me. Cambodians, they speak English, so they came over and they was like, "Hey, bro, where you from?" And I said, I'm American and all that, and it was all good. So the vibe was, it was all, nobody was really paying me no attention. He let me know by just talking to me that, "Hey, bro, where you from? I see you with your ladies. Hey, it's all good. Have a good time." To me, that was a cosign. I don't know who the Cambodian guy was, but you guys are getting the opposite. You know what I'm saying? If I would have got a different conversation with him, I would have said, "Hey, ladies, we got to go," or "I'll see y'all tomorrow," or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
get it, man.
Yeah, I get a YouTube, guys. I get a YouTube Premium. That's my fault. I usually download the videos, but we was kind of running short today. Apologies for the commercials. Everybody get on me about the hours you BMTA paying for YouTube Premium. I be forgetting about that shit, man. I don't be thinking about that. All right. But Danny, it seems like we're going to agree to disagree here. It's like you really to kind of risk it. You kind of pointing out the individuals like he's a corny guy, this, that, and the other. And I'm pointing out that in a way he's right. And the reason he's right, because you see how our women have been affected by all types of shit. And the reason that we don't really deal with them like that anymore. So they're protecting their women. They're not really doing and not allowing guys to come in and, basically trash out their women and dip out.
Yeah, I get it, man. I understand, man. I understand, but broke guys can't make the rules, man. Broke guys can't make the rules, and that guy's clearly broke and dusty.
How you know he broke and dusty?
I mean, if he was getting money, he could have easily, he would have had more women with. Like in those countries, money talks. So, for the guys who got cash, they could easily pay for some women to be with him. Like he's not gonna be hounding, a rich guy ain't gonna be on the dance floor hounding us the way he was. Like he was like, all right, man, I would have he go pay for it, man. He ain't gotta go hound, go thirsty like that, Anyway.
Okay. Danny over there running to risk it all. Okay. All right. So fair use, family. Fair use. All right. Fair use. When I play this video, YouTube been getting on me lately about the fair use. This is what Andrea Tate had to say.
Moldova, I wouldn't go to because Moldova is probably the most hostile place I've ever been. I've been there 3 times and was attacked twice.
Why is that?
Because they are super right-wing nationalist. And you know what's crazy? Even though they attacked me, I respect them for it. So me and my brother were walking down Chisinau, Moldova. It's 2 a.m. We had these 3 girls with us. We're walking. We're talking to the girls in English. And this guy goes, "Oh, American." And I go, "Hi." He goes, "Oh, you come here to bang bang." We're like, "What?"
Danny.
Me? Yeah,
bang bang.
Yeah.
You come here porno. Yeah, you come here porno. And by the time he said that, 4 of his friends had got out of the car and they jumped us. Because they knew Americans have come to this shithole country to fuck our women. Why else am I there? Why else would I be in Chisinau, Moldova? It's not for all the beautiful girls. They knew exactly why I was there. I knew why I was there. Everyone understood the interaction. And the Moldovan men are just like, fuck you. We're not going to let you come here and just bang our women. Why would we? They're super, super nationalistic, super, super right wing. And that's happened to me twice. They came, they punched me. I took it. They punched my brother. We got them all on one side because we had them surrounded. We're like, okay, we're leaving. Sorry. We're leaving. My brother speaks Romanian. They speak Romanian and Russian. My brother said, we're not tourists in Romanian, which threw him off a little bit. And we got in the taxi. We said to the girls, come get in the taxi. So the girls still came with us. We got in the taxi. Tristan's lips bleeding a little bit, nothing too big. We got back to the hotel and went to the hotel. The girls started telling the hotel receptionist what happened. And then what was scary is the hotel receptionist started to panic. We're like, because it was a woman. She's like, "Oh, what car were they in?" And I was like, "A BMW." She goes, "Oh," because over there, the average wage in Moldova is like $200 a month. Having a BMW is a big deal, right? Like, "Oh, they had a BMW. Oh, they might be mafia guys. They're going to come here. They're going to come after you. They're going to come after you." And we're like, "Well, how are they going to know that we're here?" And the receptionist says, "The taxi now is going to go back to them and say for a tip, they'll tell them you're here. I'm here by myself. And she started really having a panic attack. I said, "Well, call the police then." She goes, no. She didn't want to call the police. Don't know why. So now me and Tristan are scared. The whole interaction, it was just reaction, right? We weren't really scared. And once we're in the taxi, we're like, whatever. But now we're scared because the receptionist is panicking. This is 4 a.m. on a Saturday morning. And we're sitting there and we looked on the thing and there was a flight back to Romania, which is generally safe, at 6 a.m. So we just packed and bailed. It was like, all right, well, shit, let's get out of here. And then twice similar stories have happened to me in Moldova. So Moldovans are super, super protective of their people and their culture. And then sometimes I walk through London and look at all the problems we have here and I have to respect them because they won't let anyone go there and fucking fuck around with them or disrespect them or fuck their women or nothing. And the girls there are 10 out of 10. They're fucking beautiful, but they're kind of trapped there and the men won't let us go there. So, but I respect them. I really respect them as men. If I were to meet those guys who jumped me, I'd shake his hand. I'd be like, I get it. Moldova.
Thank you. Come on, man. Now you understand where we're coming from, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, and y'all look, some of you guys think it's like a black and white thing. Andrew Tate and his brother, they look kind of white and they still got pressed by the goons, the local goons, man. So like these goons, they don't discriminate, man. Like as a black man, you probably stand out a lot more and you probably bring out more animosity in people. But like once they know you're not from there, man, like some of these local goons, man, they don't care, man. They throwing hands at everybody. Like you trying to take their women right in front of them. But hey, it's a risk you take, you know. For me, I think Kazakhstan is a beautiful country. Women are beautiful. I love the Russian language. It's not expensive there. Like the cost of being there is pretty low, guys. It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's as cheap as Thailand, but it's like, it's surprisingly inexpensive. So I'm like, you know, I can deal with some local goons if it means that, you know, I got access to all that good stuff over there.
Okay, man. Okay. Shout out to Big Drip with $2 super chat. He says, American privilege make a lame make a lame think he that. Okay, appreciate $2 super chat, Big Drip. Appreciate that. My man T Matt says Colombia has beautiful women who take care of their teeth, and so the women in Brazil and Europe, they neglect that dental work. Okay. Hey man, you never know, man. You mess with a chick with some busted teeth, just get them fixed. You know what I'm saying? Just get them fixed for her. Shit. Teeth work ain't nothing like it used to be. Ain't nothing no more. Especially overseas. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and start narrowing this down. We've been at it for a little minute, Danny. You said your opinion Thailand was the best country for Passport Bros, in your opinion.
For men who like Asian women, Thailand is probably, but it depends, man. Like there's some guys who think that Thai women aren't like very classy. Like, you know, like if you really care about like a classy Asian woman, it's like in Thailand, like women are kind of more, I want to say kind of more sexually open, like even in Bangkok and Pattaya. So a lot of guys, they might be put off about that. If you want like a traditional Asian woman, probably Japan is probably like the best mix of like a modern country and the women there are decently modern. And it's like, you know, if you're like one of those types of guys, like you want like I wouldn't say traditional Asian woman, but I just say kind of like a modern Asian woman. And like, I don't know, guys, like Asia's pretty diverse and each country can fit like a different guy. For me, Thailand seems to be a pretty good next move. Chinese girls are freaking beautiful. I've been here for a while, but I know China doesn't fit a lot of people. For me, I've been here for 10 years, but my situation is kind of special. I got here at a pretty young age. Oh shit, my painting just fell down. My name painting art. Sorry. Yeah. But basically, yeah, y'all, it depends on your personality.
Hold on. I thought them Kazakh guys came for you, brother.
Nah, my Andy Warhol, it just fell down. But yeah, basically, y'all, even in Asia, different countries, you know, I feel like this conversation, we need to have it like per continent. So for example, in Asia, for guys who like Asian women, what's the best country? In South America, for guys who prefer those women, what's the best country? I don't think we can, you know, and for a lot of guys, black guys, they say, hey man, I want to get back to the motherland. I want to go back to Africa. So we got to have that discussion. It seems like Kenya is probably going to come out in top for Africa. So I don't think we can like say worldwide what country is the best. It's kind of like, what continent do you prefer? And inside that continent, what country fits you the most?
Okay. That's a good point. And I mean, you personally don't probably have any interest in visiting like South America or the Caribbean or anything like that?
Is Brazil included in South America? Then yeah, I wanna visit Brazil. just to like, clap some cheeks, but that's about it. And yeah, I'm not really interested in anything else besides that. Same thing for Africa. Like I basically, I haven't been with a black woman since I was in high school. So like, I want to see like, am I going to go over there and I'm going to see some really beautiful black women who make me reevaluate my preference for Asian women? That's kind of what I'm interested in seeing. And also the food in Kenya looks pretty good. So like, I kind of want to check it out eventually.
Okay. All right. In my opinion, it all depends on for me personally. Damn, it's hard not to say Thailand. It's really hard because if I say the DR, it's certain things you gotta deal with in the DR when it comes to, first of all, the heat is becoming unbearable out here. It's really, really hot right now. You see my ass is inside. Like y'all don't even go outside until like either early mornings or late evenings now time because it's like 100-something degrees out there. The police is kind of like, they leave us alone for the most part, but it's disheartening to hear some of the things that goes on with the Dominicans and the police here. Not similar to the States. It's not as bad as the States, but that's one thing you got to be aware of. The location is good. It's pretty safe if you stay out of the bad areas. But the best country for passport bros, I gotta check out Africa, man. I gotta really see what to get down in Africa and Kenya before I really make my decision. But I would say from the countries I've been in thus far, I would have to say Thailand because safety is my number one thing. Like, and I don't want to promote a country where I know that guys are, getting killed and getting robbed and getting drugged. So it used to be Colombia. Unfortunately, until Colombia gets it together, I can't say Colombia is the number one country for passport bros. Somebody said I use Africa as a last resort. No, I did not use Africa as a last resort. I can't wait to go there. When I go there, I might move there for a minute. Who knows? I might be, Kenya might be all the way for me. Mm-hmm. Somebody said he went to Brazil to get white girls. He failed and tried it in Poland, failed again. I've never been to Poland. Shout out to Ozzy. Hold on. Let me get this man by T-Mac, man, and we're going to go ahead and BMT, the women who need dental work will be hitting you up because you are offering dental plans. Nah, I'm not sipping to that extent, bro. I was saying if you messing with a chick. I did drop a link in the chat if anyone wants to pull up. Danny, you welcome, if you want to exit out. I know it's late out there in China, but I did just drop a link in the chat. Guys want to chop it up real quick before we go. I'll give it another maybe 15 minutes or so. All right, we'll give it another 15 minutes to go. But I heard Kanye was out there, man. Did you hear anything about the Kanye concert out there in China?
Oh yeah, man. I don't know. Can you pull up that link, man? We can kind of show them that picture of Kanye. Do I need to send it to you again? Cause I think it was a really cool picture. Like Kanye was performing the hits, man. He played that All Falls Down from the College Dropout, man. It was like bringing back memories. That's a good song, man. But yeah, man, Kanye kind of blew up like in China. Like he announced the concert like half a month ago, and I saw girls posting their tickets. And he performed out there on the island, which is like a big tourist attraction. Apparently, you can travel to that island. You don't need a visa. Yeah. Look at that. So his shirt says "Gao Su Go Ni," like I told you. I don't know what the heck that means, but his outfit, he was wearing that big crazy shoulder outfit he's been wearing for his fashion stuff. And yeah, it was like a really good concert from what I saw, man. Like you could probably click on the next thing, like it was on the Instagram thing. It's like a scroll. You can see like it shows different things that happen. But yeah, look at all those people, man. Look at all those dang people, like and he's out there in a field in the middle of a stadium, a gigantic field. And if you keep clicking, like, look, y'all, they showed Kanye a lot of respect. It's like, Kanye has a beef with Adidas. So apparently they closed all the Adidas stores during the Kanye time, and they made all the taxis play Kanye's music. Like here you see, like the taxis, they gotta play. Yeah, it's crazy. Like they made all the taxis there play Kanye West's music. And like, you know, they're giving they gave him some really big respect, y'all. It's like I told you guys, Chinese people love rap music. Like the young Chinese people, they love rap music, especially kind of like Kanye's not old school, but he's like kind of been around long enough to where he's kind of classic, so people love him.
So this man is in a wheat field, just dancing by himself.
I mean, he was giving a pretty dope performance.
Hold on.
Go to the one where he was like, they were saying,
go ahead.
Oh yeah, they were singing "Runaway." Like look, man, the Chinese people, they know all the lyrics to these songs, man. Like they know, like in this clip right here, they're playing his song "Runaway." Like they all know the lyrics, man. Like they show some really big respect to him, man. I was really happy about how it happened.
And these people don't even know English pretty much, but they know that song.
A lot of them know English, man. A lot of young Chinese people, they can speak pretty decent English.
Oh, okay. I was with my man Kobe said he was out there. He said nobody spoke English out there where he was at, but I think he's in. I forgot where he's at. I think he said Hong Kong or something like that.
Hong Kong, everyone speaks English, man. I don't know where he was at, but Hong Kong, everybody's over there speaking English. They used to be under British rule or something. Like you go there, like the Chinese people, they got freaking British accents or something. But like these young Chinese people, these are the Chinese people you might see at the nightclubs. Like I told you guys, I don't know why guys here got a bias against the nightclub. Maybe y'all spend too much time in those countries where there's like too many working women in the nightclubs. But in other countries that are like more developed, you can go to the nightclub, you can meet some pretty decent quality women who aren't like working women. Like it's actual normal hot girls who go to the clubs here. So,
I've never met a good woman in a club ever in my life, bro. Personally.
What?
No, I've never ever met a good woman. I've slept with women in the club, but I've never had a full, like when I look for a woman, I don't even look for a woman or a girlfriend in the club ever in life. I look for women who don't go to the club unless they're with their family members or something. To me, me personally, that's not where I want to meet my wife at personally.
I mean, girls just go to the club, they have fun with their classmates and stuff. It's like, unless she's like a boring, like, I don't know what kind of girl, the type of girl who doesn't go to the club. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, in Asia is different, y'all, because Japan, South Korea, China, these countries are pretty developed and pretty rich. So like the girls who go to the club, they're just normal middle class girls who might like music. It doesn't mean they're like a bad person.
Usually when I meet people, like how my grandparents met on the bus stop, how my parents met in school. Like I've never known somebody that say, "Oh, I was married. I met this woman in Club Atrium in 1989, and we've been married for 40." I've never heard of that. Let me know in the chat what y'all think. Chat, let's know. Let me see what y'all think. Let me catch the super chat real quick by Maximilian Air Global Push. He's also a member. I actually had a lady friend in Kazakhstan who invited me to visit, but I might have to reevaluate to my regard for my personal safety. Okay, so he's thinking he might not even go anymore because of your experience in the club, Danny.
I mean, just avoid the clubs, y'all. Like, during daytime and other, like Francois didn't have any issues, and Daryl hasn't had any issues either. Daryl, he's been to Kazakhstan like a ton of times. So pretty much the only time it seems like this kind of beef happens is like in the nightclubs. But yeah, we can keep scrolling through this Kanye thing. I want to show y'all the rest of what's happening because it seemed like this concert was really good.
When it's dark, you don't know where you go. Need a light bear to leave home. Light them up, beat me up. The only go, the Jesus. They switch sides, I seen it coming. But drop twist, up a vehicle. Look, nobody finna extort me, even when they record me. I'ma keep it more G.
Okay. They made a vulture that flew over the concert.
Because the name of his concert was Vultures. So yeah, like the name of his next CD is like Vultures or something. So someone made a vulture to fly over the concert. So yeah.
Okay.
Keep playing. Keep playing. Keep playing.
They keep playing.
Yeah. Keep it.
And when I put my mask back on, running that strut.
See, they know his song, man. Like, so look, I told you guys, Kanye has beef with Adidas, and like everyone's like F Adidas, and like Kanye, he put his middle finger up, and it was pretty funny. But then he played All Falls Down, and they all know the lyrics. And these pictures right here, Kanye was in China as a kid. His mom was like either a student or a teacher. I think she taught English at a university in China, like me. Like she taught English like me at a Chinese university. So she brought Kanye over. So Kanye had that kind of connection as a kid to China. So I don't know, man, it's all coming full circle for Kanye. It's like, he's gotten blackballed in America, but China doesn't really care about all that stuff that Kanye said about the certain groups of people. They don't care, man. But yeah, man, they love him in China.
Okay. I want to give a shout out once again to my man, Wonderful Travels in the building with a $10 super chat. I really appreciate that, my man, always showing support. He says, that's the power and effect Black Americans have on the world. And here we still have the O'Sheas of the world telling bros not to be themselves in a foreign country. Hashtag goofies. Shout out to my man, Wonderful Travels. Yeah, man, we're a powerful group of people, believe it or not, man. If people knew more of our history, I found out a couple of days ago, Danny, that it was a black man that invented the damn roller coaster. I'm just like, damn, we invented the roller coaster too. So we invented the airplane, the roller coaster. What else is it? All types of stuff. And it's crazy because a lot of these guys, what they're doing now is they're like doing, you got think tanks and different agencies that really go through thoroughly researching, for educational purposes and documentary purposes of, who was really inventing all these inventions to not thrive, but to push up the industrial age. And it's coming to find out that it was a lot of, Black Americans that were, that ignited the industrial age. I mean, even the Gatling gun was invented by a black man. The airplane was invented by a black person. Like, they're finding this stuff out because they're doing their research. They're like, okay, who holds the patent? Okay, this guy holds the patent. Okay, who's this guy? Who is his assistant? What other inventions did he have? And what they're finding out is if it's a person, let's say a white male that invented only one thing, that's suspicious because usually inventors invent things, right? It happens. But when they're looking at it, they're saying, wait a minute, he only invented one thing. Why his assistant or his slave invented 30, 40 different things, got 34 different other patents. So this particular patent he invented, so this is one invention he invented. So they're investigating and finding out that, damn, these Black Americans invented a lot, the refrigerator, like all these things, the air conditioner, the stoplight. It's like, damn, it was inventing shit over and over again. And so they try to take that away from us and pigeonhole us into hood activities. All he is hood and rappers and shit. And shout out to Kanye, of course, he's a brilliant musician and rapper and producer, but we're just so much more than that. All right, let me stop preaching, man. Let me get back to the subject at hand. I go deep. I go deep, man. All right, let's finish up these Kanye. Kanye, I think that was the last one, right? That's the last one.
That's the last one.
All right, man. So you're gonna have guys put up in China soon, Danny.
I mean, yeah, man. China's very different than what y'all think, y'all. And like, China's big. It's like there's so many different parts of China. Like for me, I've been living in this area, Sichuan. Someone asked what the best city in China is. It's hard to say, man. It's like I've been living in this city for years. It's comfortable, low cost of living, a nice bunch of clubs, partying. Women are beautiful. It's like, it's hard to say what's the best because, a lot of guys are different and China is different. It's like, for me, I've been here for almost 10 years. If I was going to move someplace in China, I would move to the area where Kanye had his concert, that Hainan Island. I would move there. I did a vacation video there, like one of my videos with the blonde haired Chinese girl. I was in that city, Wanning, which is on that island where Kanye performed. I would move there because I'm kind of tired of city life. I want to move to like the beach area. I want to get some more nature. But that's after I've been living here for 10 years. So it's like, you know, if you ask me, if I had been living in Thailand for 10 years, maybe I'd be coming to China right now. So it's like when you've been someplace for a long time, you kind of want to switch it up and go someplace new. So like now I've been in China for so long, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of ready to go someplace else. But some of you guys, you might be ready to come to China and check other things out, you know, other things, other places. Like, so it's like, it's not just about the best, it's about where you at in your life right now.
Okay, good point, man. Good point. Good point. Well, guys, it's been a hell of a show, man. I want to thank Danny for always coming on and doing these shows with me, man. He's a repeated guest. Till next time, guys, we out. Peace.
See ya.